Hello, I'm glad to be here with you again. Before we start today's lesson, I would like to tell you something. You know, grammar is wonderful. It is very interesting and useful. We've been studying about gerunds and infinitives and things like that. I want to invite you to do something. Study the material, try to internalize the rules, the uses, do the exercises, and try to apply what you have learned up to now. When you speak, when you write, try to use the structures and the things that we study, and you will see that you can communicate better and you can make fewer mistakes. You have learned important things, simple things, but important. For example, you know that after a preposition, if you're going to use a verb, it has to be in the ing form. So now you can say with all property, thank you very much for coming. Okay, you know that coming is a gerund after the preposition for. You can say also being with you is very nice. Okay, to be with you is very nice. So you see that it is easy to use or to apply what we have learned up to now. Today, as you know, the topic is different. We are going to talk about adverbs. But before we start with adverbs, let us remember a little bit about adjectives. This is something that you already know. We have seen that adjectives answer the questions what kind, which one, and how many about nouns and pronouns. In other words, whatever answers the question what kind is an adjective or a form of an adjective. Okay, when you have the answer in a question, in a sentence, when you have the answer to the question which one, you know that is an adjective or a form of adjective. The same thing happens when we talk about adverbs, as you will see. It is very important to know what kind of word you have. We have studied up to now nouns, adjectives, and today we start with adverbs. How do you know if a word is a noun? Well, if it is at the beginning of the sentence, it could possibly be the subject, and then you say, that is a noun. You can find a noun after a verb as a direct object, and so on. You have another word modifying a noun, then you say, it is an adjective. It answers the question, what kind, which one, and so on. Okay. The same thing happens with adverbs. They answer questions. They answer questions about the action verbs. Look at this. This is a very simple sentence. Miguel drove. Only that. Very simple. But can you add more information? Yes. And you may ask, Miguel drove when? Where? How? How much? How often? Okay? As you can see, all the questions are about the verb drove. And if you add this information, where he drove, how he drove, how much he drove, how often he drove, then you add extra information. And whatever answers one of these questions, you know it is an adverb or a sort of adverb. Look at the following sentences. Miguel drove slowly. Choose the question that the word slowly answers. Miguel drove slowly. When? Where? How? Yes. Okay. How did he drive? Well, Miguel drove slowly. What kind of word is slowly? It is an adverb. How do you know it is an adverb? Because it is answering the question, how? Okay? It is telling you how he drove. Look at the following sentence. Miguel drove yesterday. Now, choose the question that the word yesterday answers. When? Yes? Okay? Yes, it answers the question, when did he drive? He drove yesterday. Now, let us see another example. We have here, Miguel drove frequently. Choose the question that the word frequently answers. When, where, how much, how often? Yes, it is this one. Okay? What kind of word is frequently? It is an adverb. How do I know? Because it answers the question, how often? What is the message? Whatever answers the question when, where, how much, and how often, that is a sort of adverb. Okay, that is a type of adverb. Miguel drove away. Choose the question that the word away answers. When, where, how much, how often? Yes, the answer is where. Okay, remember, and this is something important to you. Whatever answers the questions below is a sort of adverb. Okay, an adverb phrase, an adverb clause. Some people believe that adverb clauses are difficult. No, they are not difficult. Once you master these simple things, you will see that they are easy. Okay? Remember, whatever answers the questions when, where, how much, and how often, okay, there you have an adverb or a sort of adverb, a variation of an adverb. Now, you already know, and you may remember from basic grammar, that adjectives modify nouns or pronouns. Adverbs, on the other hand, modify verbs, but also adjectives and other verbs. Something that may be new to you is this. Some adverbs also modify entire sentences. These are called sentence adverbs, also called viewpoint adverbs, because they express an opinion or view about an entire sentence. Now, common sentence adverbs are actually, basically, certainly, definitely, essentially, fortunately, hopefully, obviously, overall, maybe, perhaps, possibly, and surely. Look at this. Look at this example. Basically, I am in favor of that. Okay, as you can see, you have an opinion about all this. Okay, what kind of adverb is it? It is a sentence adverb. Okay, also called viewpoint adverb. And they express an opinion or view about an entire sentence. Okay, there are some interesting things that we can learn about this kind of adverbs. Okay, look at this. You can use sentence adverbs in various places in a sentence. That is a characteristic of an adverb. Okay, remember, a noun can be at the beginning of the sentence, and then you know it is the subject. It can be after a verb, and then it will be in that position the object of a verb, okay, or after a preposition. But something particular about adverbs is that you can place them in different parts of the sentence. Look at the examples that we have here. Basically, I am in favor of that. Okay? Adverb. Number 2, I am in favor of that, basically. I am basically in favor of that. I basically agree with the plan. You see, you can have it at the beginning, at the end, after the main verb. In this case, it is the verb be, or you can have it before. And in all of them, you have adverb, 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 adverb. Okay? Now, something else. In your class material, you will find information about focus adverbs, negative adverbs, and here and there, that force inversion. That is change of positions, okay, when they come at the beginning of the sentences. But that is something for you to study at home. So let us continue with some charts, okay? In the charts that we're going to see, it is a sort of review. But anyway, we will have new things there to learn. Let us continue. This is part of your grammar presentation, part of the material that you find in your contents. Let us look at this. Remember, characteristic of an adverb. You can shift the position of an adverb within a sentence. It can be at the beginning, in the middle, or at the end. And in any position, they're always adverbs. Look at this. At the beginning, clearly, these are bitter controversies. Middle, these are clearly bitter consequences. And these are bitter controversies, clearly. This is a very special characteristic of adverbs. So if sometime, at any time or at a given time, you are in doubt about one word, move it, shift the position of the word in a sentence, and if the sentence has the same meaning, then you say, that is an adverb, okay? Now, sometimes some adverbs help you focus on something. And when there is that kind of focus, then the meaning changes. In other words, if you change the position of an adverb, the meaning of the whole sentence changes. Let us see some examples. Here we have just. It is before the negation. And here you have again just. It is after the negation. Do you have a change of meaning when you put it before or after? Look at this. Let us see the first example. They just don't support what he says. What does it mean? They think it is wrong. Okay? They are against that. They simply don't support what he says. They think it is wrong. Now, let us look at the other alternative. They don't just support what he says. Okay? The meaning is totally different. What do I mean when I say that? I mean that they agree with him 100%. Okay? They don't just support it. They think it is wonderful. It is awesome. Okay? They just don't. They don't just support. Okay? So you see the difference in meaning when just is after the negation. Here we have even before he, and here we have even before that. Do you have a change in meaning? Let us look at this sentence. Even he can do that. What do I mean? Almost anyone can do that. Even he is very young, he's very old, he hasn't studied, he doesn't have much qualification, he's dumb or whatever. And you say, even he. So if even he can do that, why can't you do it? So what do I mean? Almost everyone or anyone can do that, okay? Let us look at the other sentence. She can do even that. In other words, it's amazing how many things she can do. She can do unimaginable things. You think that is difficult? Well, I tell you, she can do even that, okay? Because she's a wonderful person. She's amazing how intelligent she is. Now, let us look at another sentence. Only men can attend. What do I mean? Women can't, okay? Only men can go there, okay? Women can't. But look at the other one. Men can only attend. They cannot do anything else. They can just be there. They cannot say a word. Men cannot participate. They can only attend. You see the difference in meaning? You change the position and the meaning changes absolutely. Okay? That is one important thing about focus adverbs. Okay? Now, let us continue. Negative adverbs. And when you have this, you have inversion. Okay, this is very nice. This is something that I like because it sounds and it looks very nice. Look at this. Here we have rarely after the subject before the verb, and here we have rarely at the beginning. But look at this. We rarely agree on such things. Okay, we rarely agree on such things. That is normal. Okay, we almost never agree on such things. But what happens when I move rarely to the beginning of the sentence? Look at what happens with the verb. Rarely do we agree. You see, there is an inversion. Here you add the auxiliary verb, and it looks like a question, but it is not a question. And we say, rarely do we agree on such things. Look at this. I have seldom heard that idea. Seldom have I heard. They never disagreed with him. Never did they disagree with him. You see, interesting things to know about negative adverbs. Okay, remember that rarely is a negative adverb, seldom also, and never, of course, is a negative adverb. When you have one of these adverbs at the beginning, what do we have? We have inversion. Okay, they never disagreed. Then here you have the auxiliary because it is in the past tense, and then you have the subject. Never did they disagree. Okay, this is in the present, so you add the auxiliary for the present. We're talking about we, that is why you use do. If we had here she, then we would use here does. Okay, rarely do we. And here we have I have heard. You already have an auxiliary. Okay, so what do? You just change the position and then you say, seldom have I heard that idea. Doesn't it sound nice? Yes, I like it a lot. We have come again to the end of the lesson. Have you learned new things? Do you find them interesting? I hope so. That would be all for today. Bye.